Night at the Museum is interesting for me because I like it and I grew up with the first two films, but sadly I do see more flaws now that I'm older. That being said, I still enjoy this film to an extent. The idea of a museum coming to life at night could have been uninspired, but with a good lead and good effects, we've got ourselves a solid flick. Not a masterpiece, but still good. Ben Stiller is our lead, playing the role of Larry, a failing inventor who tries his hardest to inspire his son, Nicky, but kind of fails at that too. Larry tries out for a job at the local museum, though he thought he'd have a job different from the night guard. Yep, after three very talented actors playing retiring night guards meet him, they give him the job but warn him of what happens, though not too subtly. It turns out the museum comes to life. That's right, we've got the T-Rex coming to life, the late Robin Williams giving, in my opinion, one of his best roles as Teddy Roosevelt, some Huns, some cavemen, and even Sacagawea. The film is very aware that it's a kid's film and it takes advantage of being such. There's a monkey who, yes, is the same monkey as the one from The Hangover Part 2. The monkey's cute, gets a few laughs, his constant bullying of Larry is very fun for anyone who watches. There's a bit of an odd romance between Roosevelt and Sacagawea, and albeit it's very weird, not very important to the story, I could have done fine without it. But that being said, there is a lot to like about Stiller as Larry. Anyone else could have made this very unenjoyable or too silly. Stiller makes it very clear that he's got a good balance between silly and serious, and I mean it. Secret Life of Walter Mitty did that for me. But this does it well too, especially since he's going through, get this, a divorce. I know divorce is often seen in certain kids' films, but it's never really addressed, it's never really often, said. Here, Paul Rudd is a literal second chance for the wife. Yeah, the homewrecker is here, everyone. Even the son is kind of broken by the divorce. Seriously, they have a whole scene where he's just kind of wanting his father to be normal, like Paul Rudd's character. That's heartbreaking and very welcome to the scene. It's loudly clear that Stiller and his character's wife are going through a divorce, and you know what? I'm very surprised by how well they handled it. Even Ricky Gervais gives a very snarky performance that's very welcomed. But are there flaws? Yeah. I mentioned the romance that doesn't really work, and I'm just gonna say it. Why is Dick Van Dyke in this movie? He's just there as a distraction, and I'm sorry, it's not one of his better roles. He returns in the third film, and I'll just say it, he's better there. And unfortunately, there is a twist villain, which albeit they did try to sneak in on it, but did this film need a villain? Seriously, if you really looked at this movie and thought about it, would you ever think a villain is needed? Why not explore this fact? If any exhibit is out of the museum when the sun comes out, they disappear. Why wasn't that explored more than one time? And what's even more insulting, they never do anything with it again. That could be a really interesting concept that's used approximately once in the entire trilogy. I wish those were nitpicking, but they aren't. They're really big points in the movie, and it keeps it from being a really well done flick. But aside from certain flaws, there are things to enjoy about Night at the Museum. It's not a masterpiece, but if you have kids or are looking for a harmless movie night, I'd say the first Night at the Museum movie is one night you're sure to remember.